Well, he is player of the match, and Graham, of course, knows him extremely well, and he seems a really good character. You pleased for him with the football he's playing at the moment?
Yeah, he's a really nice person. Humble, very humble. Just wants to learn, wants to improve, wants to fight for the team. Got an edge about him on the pitch, so he's not the Mr. Nice Guy, but as a human being, he's a top. Fantastic, really pleased for him. And
you talked earlier about the expectancy and change of club. Do you think the fee as well, which was enormous, might have affected him in any way?
Well, I think it's only natural that there's a bit of pressure and a bit of outside noise. And as I said before, Chelsea were going through a transition period, so he's in there. The team's trying to function better than it was. He's come with £100 million, whatever the number was in the end. And then sometimes you look at that and you expect a lot for that type of money. Obviously, Moises isn't really that type of player, although he's just scored a couple of fantastic goals if you look at his highlights. But most of the time, he's the guy that lets other players play better. Gets in good positions as a central midfield player, can deal with the big spaces, but wins the ball back. So for 100 million, as well, when everything's not functioning brilliantly, there can be some sort of maybe some pressure on him. But I think it's a testament to his character that he's come through that, and now you're seeing the quality that he has.
He was only 23 yesterday as well. Do you like him? Is he on the upward trajectory now?
Yeah, I like him. I really do. I mean, out of position, I think he's fantastic. I mean, I wouldn't want to play against him out of position. In position, I don't think he's going to hurt you with a ball. His range of passes is not the best. But he certainly gives everything, leaves nothing on that pitch. Does he train every day like he plays?
Yeah, and that was the bit with him to start with. It was just, he come from Ecuador. And it's just the intensity of training every day in the Premier League. He was took him by surprise a bit. He actually went on loan to a team in Belgium, down the bottom of the league. Didn't go so well. He played, but the team was struggling down the bottom. So it just took a little bit of time for him just to adapt. We always knew he had the quality. Just the intensity and the difference. He's got the physical capacity, just getting used to it.
He looks like a player who's got no self-indulgence. He's not trying to perform well for himself. He just wants to give everything for the team. And I think that his teammates will appreciate that. Certainly when there's a lot of superstars, and you talked about the fee, Steve, it's easy to get carried away with yourself and think, oh, I've got to try something different now. And perhaps he did when he first went in there. He thought, I've got to do a little bit more than just run about on the pitch and break the game up. But that's good enough. If he's doing it and he's got the cocktail around him, he's got like a Cole Palmer, he can give the ball to him, and Wacky, and they're getting there, with the cultured players. But he's got to know what he's good at, and what he's good at is what he showed us today. Is giving everything for the cause.
And certainly you talk to players who played with him, they speak very highly of him.
Yeah, look, he's the type of player you want to play with. When you play in that position, whether you're the attacking midfielder next to him or you're number 10 in front of him, he's the type that you need. I didn't feel any of the midfield players there really took control of the game. I think that's probably why it was such a poor game in quality, really, because when you're in that number 10 position, and I've done it, if your midfield players can't get control of the ball, you're almost a waste of time being at number 10. You can go in all these areas, wherever you want. But if there's no control from your midfield players, then you become irrelevant in the game, unemployed virtually. And you saw today with the two best players on the pitch from Manchester United is Bruno Fernandes, most creative player, and on the other side Cole Palmer, both really quiet today. And that's a subsequent reason why is because there was just no control from them. Four midfield players. I thought Ugarte was okay, fouled, too many fouls, couple of nice bits. Casemiro was probably United's best player on the day, again with that pass, and played his position quite well. A little bit disappointed with Lavia today. I thought he was a little bit better than that. Well, look, he's had an off day today, let's say. Caicedo probably was best of the four, but I don't think it was that difficult to be the best out of them four today.
OK. What he did have control of was the volley, wasn't it? And you're saying he wasn't particularly known for this. I think it's just his fourth ever Premier League goal. But it was some strike, Graham, less than 5 minutes after United had taken the lead.
Scholes-esque on the edge of the box, isn't it?
Wasn't that good?
A bit too close, that.
Exactly. Yeah, Garnacho's probably a difficult role for him on the edge of the box because he's got an eye on Cucurella, but nevertheless, it's a fantastic finish from there. Goes through the bodies, need a bit of luck, but a great connection, that's all he can do, and hope for the best, and it goes in the bottom corner.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Technique's quite tough there because he's moving backwards at the same time as well. Like you say, Garnacho, he doesn't really do anything in the end. It's a difficult role for him to be in between the two of them. But he doesn't really react to that one. And look, it's a good strike from Caicedo. Give him credit for the strike.
Difficult one for Onana, wasn't it? It comes through Mudrik's legs. Mudrik's in an onside position, so it doesn't matter. It just puts him off, just that just slightly struck it well enough to be past him before you even see it.
Casemiro's header in the build-up. Anything in that? When we see this fresh angle here, what's
Let's have a
this?
look.
Brazil, Argentina,
Yeah, well, it's not good. It's not good. He's got a knack of putting his head on the ball in both boxes, isn't he? You know, he does defend very well, and he gets his head in the attack as well, and he's a real threat. He would wish he would done better there, but you know, we're only looking at hindsight because it's ended up in the back of the net with a wonderful strike. I think we've got to give credit to Caicedo for the strike, really, more than Casemiro.
And it's not the first time he scored against United in the Premier League. His first goal came against them when you were his manager on a very memorable day for you, him and the team.
Yeah, I think it was 4-0, I think.
Yes, it was,
nice,
Graham. Yeah, stop being so modest.
Again, little edge of the box. He's going to pick one up. I think it's a decent strike now coming up. Again, a bit fortunate through bodies. Maybe he's aiming for that bottom corner again. And that started, I think it was the first goal in the game, I think so.
Yeah, this was his 6th appearance in the Premier League at the time. He was very new to it.
Yeah, that's me prior to a glow-up. Looking a bit scruffy.
Yeah, you hadn't seen your designer in those days, had you? So.
There's never been a designer, I can assure you.
Tim still begs to differ, don't you?
Well, I think when he went to Chelsea, he upped it. He upped his game, without doubt. And now, even now, look,
I just went to a decent barber. That's what I did.
he was on the, he's on the shortlist to be James Bond. When he goes back in next year, he's going to be written off again.
You mentioned the ball for the penalty.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful one, wasn't it? And no doubt it was a penalty in the end.
Yeah, it was definitely a penalty. A really good touch as well from Highland, but the ball was brilliant. It's that got a little. I know it's got to go in the air, but it's a little bit of flatness as well. It's the pace of it, the trajectory of it is absolutely perfect. Oh, straight in between them. Decent touch. I think the touch could have been slightly better, and it could have possibly got a finish off. But once it's a little bit wayward, the touch, the keeper commits himself, and he definitely catches the ankle. It's definitely a penalty, and thankfully Fernandes puts it away quite comfortably.
That was Hoyland's first touch in the penalty area, the opposition penalty area.
Well, it's no surprise, as I said, when your midfield players don't get control of the game, it's difficult to bring your forward players into it, and it was no surprise. It took that one bit of quality from Casemiro that we know he's got, and I want to see Hoyland in their positions a little bit more. I think he's capable. I think he's got the movement. I think he's clever enough to do that. Again, if I was slightly critical, I'd like his first touch to be slightly better, a little bit more close to him, so he can then get his shot off. But he ends up doing well. He gets a penalty, and United took the lead.
Yeah, and Bruno Fernandes hadn't scored in the Premier League for 12 games. Scored 2 in the Cup in this week at that end, actually. Are you ever really in any doubt when he's in this penalty situation? You know, he misses the odd one, but...
Yeah, he misses the odd one, but you always fancy him. Great composure, hasn't he? Just a couple of steps, and it's a goal. As you say, he has been pretty quiet. I think he missed a penalty against Chelsea last season as well, so you have to give him credit for being the one to stand up there. I think he always fancies the free kicks as well, of course he does, and the dead ball situation, he's normally very good, and great composure there to put them ahead.
All right, 1-1 at Old Trafford. What an insane football match. Of course, lack of quality, but very intense. Both sides were very keen on winning the game. Manchester United came out flying. They were very aggressive, pressing Chelsea man-to-man, being tight, not giving spaces away. Chelsea struggled, it meant that they couldn't put passes together like they usually do. And the game was a little bit disconnected, like congested in the middle of the park, and they are wearing players having free space to express themselves, and it affected Chelsea mostly. So it was like Manchester United's game plan is to make Chelsea find it difficult to play rather than enforcing the game themselves in the first half especially. But in the second half, they started creating chances themselves. In the first half, they didn't create much. But in the second half, they started creating chances themselves. And unfortunately, Sanchez again, gave away a penalty. This guy has been a liability for Chelsea for too long this season. And I don't know how long they are going to continue with that. But I don't know, honestly, because some of the things that he does are just naivety, and he's 26, if I'm not wrong, and he shouldn't be. He should be at least close to his peak at the moment. I know that he's a goalkeeper. Goalkeepers, have longevity in the game, but still, at 26, you must have gathered enough experience to have stability in your game. At the moment, he doesn't have stability in his game. He's always erratic and lackadaisical at times with his approach, with the way he approaches the game. But then Chelsea came back. Okay, first Bruno Fernandes, has put Manchester United in front, converting the penalty, and then the goal of the day. Goal of the weekend. Let me put it that way. Moises Caicedo volleyed home, and a stunning equalizer from a corner kick that was rebounded, I think, off Casemiro that tried to clear it, and then it fell for Moises Caicedo, and he hit it. Wow, it was incredible goal. He doesn't score too many goals. 2 of his 4 goals so far in the Premier League, have come against Manchester United. So that says a lot. He has scored 4 goals in his Premier League career, and 2 of them against Manchester United. One when he was still playing for Brighton. I still remember that one. That was a long range, low shots under Graham Potter. Before Graham Potter left for Chelsea, I think in beginning of that season. So, for me, man of the match, hands down, Moises Caicedo. He was absolutely unplayable. Stunning footballer. He was everywhere. Tackling or chasing back, dueling, scoring goals. Whoa, what else do you want? You see, this guy struggled so much last season for Chelsea after that transfer, and a lot of people made fun of him. Most expensive player in the Premier League, moving from Brighton to Chelsea. Some people took advantage of it and judged him based on that. But this season, wow, nobody will ever say something like, he's not living up to expectation, because at the moment, he looks like the best midfielder in the Premier League. And the best midfielder in the Premier League deserves to be a £150 million signing. And that's what he is at the moment. He is even worth more, if you ask me. The job that he does per game, per 90 minutes is outstanding. And you look at it this way, he has found also consistency, like, what you're going to get from him. Since the start of the season, apart from the first game against Manchester City, because he came back late from international duty and was behind other players, on fitness level. But after that, he has been outstanding all through. Every game, every 90 minutes, he's there. He showed up. Every game, he's there. And tonight, he is the difference between Chelsea leaving Old Trafford with 0 points and leaving with 1 point. And that 1 point could count a lot at the end of the season. So kudos to Moises Caicedo, outstanding footballer, insane talent. And he's still getting better. He just had his birthday yesterday, so he just turned 23. You can imagine that when he's 25 or 26, what he could become. So, very good game, both sides. It's fair. The result is fair, if you ask me. 1-1. Manchester United did everything to win. Chelsea did everything also to win. At the end of the day, it's a fair result. 1-1. I wouldn't say that Chelsea did more or Manchester United did more. And I will say that both teams contributed. And even though the game wasn't the best game to watch, but still both teams gave it everything to win. And that's what matters. And at the end of the day, 1-1 looks like very, very good results for both sides.